Thanks for joining the part of the episode. As you know, what I do as far as like JQ Lifestyle is really just like connect with people, get insight. I think the biggest thing is like exposure for people. You know what I'm saying? And just like really share the data. Like if you look at the other episodes I did, like I put it out. I like doing this, like this outside of my job and everything. Like I think it's super cool to connect with people and to get kind of like get different perspectives, you know? And also just, we Black kings. And I think a lot of our community need to see more of like people coming together and like collaborating and like, sharing insights. So.
Sure.
Yeah. So I guess, man, the first thing I want to kick off though, man, I know you had a lot going on. You had the wedding, you had, you killing it right now, man. So like, first I'll ask you like congratulations to you and your wife.
Appreciate it.
Super dope. It was good to see the video. So congratulations to you guys. So I guess as a father for you right now, the first question I ask, like, how is it like balancing everything? Like, with your son and like everything, business owner, Black entrepreneur, like all the things that you're doing.
It's similar to a lot of other things in life. Like when you're an entrepreneur, you experience a lot of ups and a lot of downs, and it's never really like a middle ground. And I think that I guess to answer your question, it's really hard to find balance because it's never really like a middle ground. At times, like, we with the wedding and everything like that, it was on like a super high. Then we get back and it's like trying to get back to some normalcy. Then you're like, what is really normal? Like, I don't want to live the normal life, right? So for me, that's where it is for me now, just trying to figure out a way to transform this thing like full time to where I can dedicate 100% to what I want to do. So when I come home, I'm not tired and I can be the best father, I could be, or I can have my son with me every day. And, we just vibing and chilling and kind of teaching him parts of the business as he's growing and stuff like that. Although he's so young, just him being around and being exposed to it is one of those things I look forward to. So for me, I'm not even sure that I've really found the best way to balance it. Right now, I mean, I'm not the type of guy you don't really find me at too many social outings and stuff like that. As much as people may think, like a lot of people feel like I'm always on the scene, but really I'm not. It's like a perception is reality kind of thing. I'm at some of the bigger events when it's beneficial for the business, or if it's something that someone I know personally is throwing or something like that. But for the most part, I try to business is running 24/7. Even when I'm at work, I'm handling business. And then when I get home, I'm still handling business, but I try to give some time to Shy and Trey, just so, they feel my presence just as much as the business feel my presence, and, everyone else that I connect with. So that's the thing, man. I've been trying to find some more time to just kind of be okay with relaxing and rewarding myself. I'm always trying to go, but I realize, eventually that's everybody hits that point where they crash, and you want to protect your mental and your sanity and stuff like that. So I'm definitely still learning, real humble with it. Like I've seen some of the biggest strides within my business over the course of the last maybe year or two. But, we also experience low moments and moments where I kind of feel like I don't know if I guess you can call it a form of depression where you're just down, man. You just don't feel like lately I just ain't been feeling like my normal, self. Like everything ain't been like different challenges you face with the business. And you go to, you clocking into work and you like, well, I don't have to clock in, but still going to work and just like, man, this ain't what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta, I guess the family is what kind of keeps me like, all right, focused on the end goal. Like I'm doing this all for them and for us. So I kind of just got to suck it up and keep going and not counting the days, but making the days count.
For sure. You hit on a few points that I want to touch on. Like one about like the peace and like really just learning how to relax. That's something that I struggled with when I was in Seattle. Me and my lady was in Seattle for three years before we moved to Houston. And I realized I was just always just grinding, just doing a lot, just moving. And like just coming out here, like since we took the move to Houston, it's like I had like a lot of downtime just to focus and do the things that I love, like what I'm doing now. And, and my lady, she loved it out here. We both was ready to move, but like, like Seattle was kind of like a business thing for both of our careers.
Right.
we still with the same company, but just more so being around the environment. I think one key thing is too, like different seasons, and some seasons you may be in a different environment that'll get you to the level that you're trying to get to. Secondly, one thing that I did, like, it hit me when me and you, like, we was connecting whatever on like social media, and I was just thinking back to the polo movement when I was Mr. A&T at A&T, and like I was thinking, I was like, yo, y'all been doing this for a while, like y'all really been like in the game. And I was just thinking, and just because I was just looking at y'all page, like the polo movement and everything, and I was like, wow, like that's some type of like visionary type of like entrepreneur type of stuff. Because like when I see things now, and especially like when I support other Black businesses, I realize like sometimes like as a visionary, people may not get it right then, but they gonna get it like years from now.
Yeah.
Just like that video we did, like the ANT4, like thinking about all that stuff, I was like, yo, like super dope when you like in the moment, when you really appreciate it, when you look at what has been done, it's super dope to look at it from that perspective.
No, definitely, for sure. And that's something that I also have to come to grasp with. Like a lot of the things that we're doing right now, we just kind of real before our time. Like a lot of times people ask like what separates your brand from other brands. Really, we're just different. Like we've always been that way. And we didn't really have a blueprint for what we were trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was like really there. We didn't have a cosign or anything like that to be like, okay, these are my boys, we putting y'all on, and this is the direction you need to go. And it was kind of like all right, we had something that we believed in, let's find a way to market it and always keep the purpose of the brand in the forefront. And everything we do it with a message, and try to be real conceptual with it. And like you said, it doesn't always pop right away, but people will appreciate the work that we've done when it's all said and done. So we always try to remind ourselves, like, we still writing our story. Like it all feels like I watch a lot of like biopics and stuff like that, and I'm big on autobiographies and that type of thing. And every time I look at one that I really like I was watching the Rough Riders joint, I was watching the Master P joint that had came out and stuff like that. I'm big on like Rockefeller and Bad Boy and all of that. And I'm like, yo, I see a lot of similarities in what they do, and it kind of inspires me to keep going, because nobody knows who's going to pop or when you're going to pop. We may think we do, but no one really knows. But when it happens, it's good to be able to look back, and people can be like, that's when the cosigns come in. Like they were really there, they were really doing that. So
Exactly.
That's one of the things that keeps me going. But it's definitely challenging when it seems like everyone else is on a different, like, we on a different frequency, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard for people to always understand what's going on. But when they get it, I think they'll get it, and they'll appreciate it.
And I think that's the beauty of like entrepreneurship too. It's like you go through these things, you work, and you go through the challenges, and then like you put in the work in. And sometimes it may take like a year, whatever the case may be, 5 years to really reap the benefits. Like I was talking to my sister, because I have a pressure washing business back in South Carolina that I created with my family to create opportunities for others. But we was talking, and I brought them out here to Houston just to like kind of like just enjoy it. They'd never been to Texas before, so we just vibed out. And one of the things that we said was like, we finally getting in our flow now. Like, we had the business for 2 years, and we still been making money, but you still could be making money. But as far as like that sustainability, or like just really like just flowing, like it takes a different gear. Once you got to go through certain things to get to that different gear.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And so like going through that makes me appreciate other entrepreneurs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, first off, that congratulations on the business. I think I seen that before, but I didn't know if it was someone else's that you was just helping out with. But that's definitely dope too, because I got a boy who actually is in South Carolina too, and he kind of has like a pressure washing joint. He does it back home too. He like travels back and forth from the DMV area to South Carolina and kind of runs it. That's what's up.
Right.
But no, for sure, man, it's making money isn't the issue. It's keeping money and knowing how to manage the money. And for someone like myself, who, like I said, I just went in it head first, no real guidance or anything like that. I didn't have a script or a blueprint or anything for how to do it. It's like me and my boys, we gonna do this together. And you know what I'm saying, we're going to learn by our trials and tribulations and just let experience be the best teacher. So we didn't really have, like, we're just now figuring out different components. Just now, like, our stuff, like, we had the LLC, we was on that game, but we're now figuring out, you know, like I got a meeting right after this with a CPA. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just now getting an accounting where it's not just, you know, our president and manager of the company kind of doing all the accounting work and stuff like that, just trying to figure it out. But I think we'll appreciate it more. You know, we'll appreciate, you know, the process and the journey. And it'll make us better in the end. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll pay it forward. That's what I'm looking forward to next, is like being able, because a lot of people reach out to me and stuff like that. And I'm always honest and straight. I'm not gonna beat around the bush with anybody. But at the end of the day, I'm still learning too. So once I get the real knowledge that I can really, you know, pay it forward and give back, I'm really, you know, excited to do that. But I like how you said you were building something with your family, because that's now what I'm trying to do, like figuring out ways, different wealth strategies to really give back to family, because I feel like that's where we lack as a community. We really don't have any generational wealth. Like Trump was able to pass down businesses to his kids without them really doing anything, just being a Trump. I want to be able to, Trey's going to be able to have a business just from being a Paris, you know what I'm saying? And I'll just make sure that he's equipped with the knowledge that he needs to pay it forward and pass it down to his kids. And then that's how we build that generational wealth, which I feel like I said, is one of the areas that we lack because we just didn't really have it, you know?
Exactly, bro. And that's one thing that I think one of the biggest things, man, like just trying to get, you know, because everything that we learn, we got to share it back, got to bring people on board. And sometimes that can be challenging, like getting people to see the bigger picture. You know, sometimes, you know, as a visionary, like you see the bigger picture, but everybody may not see that picture. You got to like kind of like break it down to get people to understand. I know like far as the music thing too, you got your music going as well. Like how is that process going, man? You just jack of all trades out here, man.
Nah, man. So the music, that's something that I'm truly talented with. Like the whole clothes and all of that stuff. I wasn't. When I was 5, I didn't know I was gonna make clothes. Like it was one of the like I really was attracted to the clothes from um my experience with the music, you know, like hip hop and fashion kind of go hand in hand. So I just liked wearing clothes because I would just see the clothes that the rappers would wear and stuff like that, and I was attracted to it from that aspect. But hip hop is something that I've studied since I was like really really young. My dad actually is kind of similar like me and Trey, where my dad was, you know, an artist when I was growing up. So I was exposed to the studio at a really young age, and just fell in love with, you know, the process of writing raps and expressing myself through that art form. So now I'm currently working on an album. I actually just recorded a chunk of it in California. So just waiting for it to be mixed and mastered. Hopefully I'll be able to share it with y'all, you know, by the end of the year. But it's something that over probably the course of the last two years since my last album, I've been like working on it. And even with the music, like everything I do is really conceptual. And even as a hip hop artist, I'm not your typical mainstream guy that you would hear on the radio. Although a lot of people confused because I still, I guess, dress kind of hip and I'm still in the know. My music kind of sounds like it's before its time a little bit, or maybe to some people, maybe after its time. I get a lot of comparisons to like golden age rappers and stuff like that. It's just that my message is a little deeper. So it's this almost the same thing as like I was saying with the business that a lot of times people don't get it now, but then they go back years from now and be like, damn, he was talking so, like almost how I feel like we didn't do Nipsey justice while he was here. You know what I'm saying? Like he got his flowers close to, you know, the later part of his life. But when you go back and listen to a lot of his music, he was dropping gems for a while. Like one of the greatest albums in my opinion is Illmatic. And when it first dropped, it didn't go platinum. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. So, man, music is something I do because I love it. And I think I do have the potential, you know, to be, you know, one of the bigger artists. If it happens, it happens. I'll probably be making music till I die. But it's a way that I express myself. And we got some things cooking with the brand, like myself or some of the other artists. We working on some things, and building the label up to where we can make the moves that we need to move. But yeah, man, I may be relocating somewhere soon, to where I can push it more full time. And yeah, man, it should be some exciting things happening. Let's to say the least. But I do think I have like my best project to date, that I'm working on now.
Nice, nice, nice. Prayers up, man, for real. So it sounds like music, if you had a choice, music would be something you can focus on full time for like.
Yeah, man. I mean, like all of it, I'm planning on doing full time. But like I said, music is really what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like music, like that's something that I probably done the longest in my life. Like I think my first recorded song was like 5, bro. Like I've been doing this for a while. So that's something that I've always been passionate about. So it's nothing for me to, get in the studio. With the clothes is kind of more of a profession, where it's like it's become the business of it. I don't know. I look at music as a business too, but I look at that as that's something that I love to really do. You know what I'm saying? And it just becomes a business because I'm good enough for it to be profitable. But that's something that like that knocks off the stress sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But
Sure.
because it's still a business, it does create stress too, because you're like, man, why are they not appreciating this, or why is this video not doing this numbers, or you
Yes,
know I'm not really trying to sell out and go the super commercial route, and it's challenges that come with that too.
for
But
sure.
I think I got a lot of people that rock with me. I'm still appreciative of the streams that I do get and the support that I do get. And I think it's just a matter of time, man. Everything takes time, and I'm just appreciating the journey.
Hey, absolutely, bro. Love that. Hey, what it is, positive outlook.
That's our reality.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Sure. So yeah, man. Listen, man. This is super dope. And I think like with everything you just said just now, like I think that's the beauty of it all, because it's like when you lock in, when you start focusing on like just the craft of loving what you do, it all gonna come back. The
Mhm.
reaping the benefits gonna come back long term. Just why, and that's why I'm saying, like from a black man, from entrepreneur. That's why I had to give you your flowers. Like I remember when I was Mr. A&T, when you guys asked me, I think it was easy too. Like we did the.
Oh yeah, there's a couple people in there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, like I did that because so much stuff. When you do so much stuff in college, you do so much and be moving so fast. You just take time to reflect. That's why
Yeah.
I think it's super important. But yeah, man, I guess I'll end it off with like any other advice or like things that you would give to any, black entrepreneurs or just in general, like I guess the season that you're in your life right now.
Yeah, for sure, man. I would say a couple things. So one, whatever you want to start, whatever you want to do, make sure that you're passionate about it. Not everybody else, but you're actually passionate about it. It's a lot of different ways to make money out here. But in order to continue making money and to really get people to buy into you, because all of this is for me personally, I feel like a lot of running a business is about getting buy-in. So you gotta get first, you gotta buy into it yourself, and that's the passion that I'm talking about. Then secondly, you have to have a team that buys into your vision or your philosophy. That's the whole purpose of a visionary. Like you said, not everybody can see the vision, but a great leader, anyone can be a visionary, someone who foresees the future and different things and the way things are supposed to be in their mind and make sense to them. But a great leader is the one who can gather a bunch of people together to now understand that vision and be on the same frequency that I was speaking about before as you. And that's what'll push your business forward. And that's what's gotten the polar move. That's what's turned polar into the polar movement. It was, me with a vision of what I saw polar as, and then just getting a bunch of essentially friends and supporters of my vision to buy into that. And now we formulated a team. Like none of us had expertise in anything that we're doing now that people would consider us experts at, but we were able to do that. So getting a team, and then once you got a team locked in, now you just got to get the world to buy into that vision, and that's by literally just doing 1 and 2 correctly. So just continuing to keep that passion, first, and everything you're doing, being authentic with it, and doing it to the best of your ability, and making sure that your team is continuing to push that forward too. You'll get your brand out. fast, and people will appreciate you guys for who you are in whatever capacity that you're doing. And then from there, you'll take off. You'll learn the different, strategies and stuff like that it takes to run a business and everything. But I think every great business kind of started off the same way. Somebody had a vision. Nobody really has ever, to my knowledge, has run a business successfully just by themselves. Like at some point in time, you have to hire somebody else or get a team or an investor or somebody that buys into you. And sometimes I guess that can be customers. Customers can buy into you too, depending on what type of business that you have. But you just got to be passionate about it and get people to buy into you. And at the end of the day, it's a lot of people out here doing things for the wrong reasons or being fake. But I think at the end, being real and authentic will last the longest, and having integrity with what you do is important. So.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, like the real will last forever. Like no matter how it can go, you can feel tough going through it, but it's going to last forever. It's going to pay off. For sure. But hey, man, listen, this was good, bro. Appreciate the time, and look forward to connecting with you. I think one of the biggest things too, I know Kobe, I talked to Kobe. We, I had a chance to go spend time with him in Dallas, and he was talking highly about you guys, and definitely would like to connect with you all more. So super dope.